Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Peculiar Deviant Cigar Adventures. Today's story will involve the Fratello Bianco III. This cigar is 5 inches by 56 ring Robusto with a San Andreas Maduro wrapper filled with mixed origin long filler. And without any further interruption, this is the adventures of Peculiar Deviant and the Fratello Bianco III. So I held the cigar in my hand for the first time, and I thought, this is a well-constructed cigar. It was very firm, with a medium brown shade, and sniffing it, very aromatic. I actually smelled leather, and that made me happy. I started this adventure off with a V-cut, and when I took a cold draw, the heavens opened up and said, walnuts! It was that oily flavor, when you stuff a bunch of walnuts in your mouth and crunch them all down at once. Sweet, savory, oily. I lit the Bianco III. Lit beautifully. On my first puff, I tasted slight sweetness with hints of leather, which I imagined matched the shade of the wrapper. It was extremely firm in my teeth, which was only compounded by its width. Maybe bigger than I prefer? Into the first third, I tasted mixed nuts. Walnuts, almonds, pecans, maybe cashew. And in the very back, and this was a first for me, I got a hint of sweet raisin. Kind of surprised me a bit. The excess smoke that came off of the Bianco III, which should always be factored into the experience, was a lovely floral aroma. The second third held on to me very tightly with raisins and the occasional coffee note, and this lasted for a pleasant amount of time. As I got to the final third, I came face to face with coffee. Not just a cup of Folgers, but a freshly ground, medium roast cup of black coffee. I was even getting some of those delightful hints of leather I had on the cold draw. But this is where everything turned for the worst for me. A tiny hole developed above the cap, just big enough for me to lose a little bit of suction on the draw. Maybe I bit the cap a little too hard, I don't know. What happened next was a tragedy though. The Bianco III slipped out of my hand and hit the ground from about 2 feet. The wrapper cracked. At least the giant band helped to prevent it unraveling any further. Now this isn't the first time I've dropped a cigar, and I'm sure most regular smokers have also. But it really wasn't that big of a drop. Should it have cracked? Was it my fault? Or was it the wrapper's? I can't answer that. I did persevere from this point, because it managed to keep smoking decently to my surprise, and finish this final leg with a hint of cocoa. So to recap this adventure with the Fratello Bianco III, nuts, raisins, coffee, cocoa. Everyone decided to come out and play. And play we did. I was amazed at how moist my mouth stayed. Too many cigars dry me out, but this one left me smacking my lips. Nicotine was at the high end of medium, which left me in a mellow state. And the flowery smoke aroma was a treat for when I set down the cigar to rest my stretched mouth. I spent an hour and 45 minutes on my journey, and it was worth it. My personal rating is a 7.5 out of 10. Thanks for listening to my adventure with the Fratello Bianco III.